Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your last start and sit video for you guys for the Week 10 of the NFL. We've got the tight end start and sit videos. This again will be based off of PPR and half PPR. So again, if it's standard league, you might make a little bit of some adjustments, but for the most part, these are the tight ends you should be starting and sitting. Now, obviously, there are 4 teams on a bye, and I've made sure you guys are aware of that in every single video. We've got the Bears, Bengals, Giants, and Texans. So as far as tight ends go, I wouldn't say there's anybody crazy that you're missing in this one. Most of those tight ends on those leagues kind of been off and on, so shouldn't affect you too much in Week 10. Now, these are your obvious starts. I've got a little bit more in here. I added Mark Andrews and Gesicki as some obvious starts, and then Kittle, being that he actually looked really good even though he was supposedly going to be on a snap count. Kittle actually did really well in his first game back from his injury, so I like him as an obvious start. Now, your first start that I recommend this week is going to be Noah Fant. They're going against the Eagles, who are allowing 66 yards to the tight end position, which is 26th in the NFL. On top of that, they're allowing 18.8 points, which is 31st in the NFL. One thing that I will say, as a Cowboy fan, I've seen a lot of the NFC East teams and how they play. Their linebackers are good at blitzing, but they're not so great at covering. And part of that is I think where, you look at that defense, they're still working and trying to figure out what they need to be as a defensive scheme, but they do give up a lot to the tight end. Now, Noah Fant was obviously out with COVID, but he is back this week. He's a good start. With Teddy Bridgewater obviously being there, I think he looks his way a lot. And one of those tight ends that a lot of people kind of forget about that he exists, but I do like Noah Fant this week. Another tight end I like, Dan Arnold. A lot of people are just kind of sitting on this guy and not really thinking about it, but he's actually doing a phenomenal job as far as a tight end that most people aren't, I would say, recognized, right? He did get traded, obviously, to the Jaguars, which is, most people think, wow, that's a death sentence. But he's doing really well for the Jaguars. He's one of Lawrence's favorite weapons right now. They're going against the Colts, who are allowing 62 yards to the tight end position, which is 22nd in the NFL. They're also allowing 17.2 points, which is 29th in the NFL. So this is a really good matchup for Dan Arnold. He's been consistently getting about 10 points a week. For a tight end in PPR, that's actually pretty good. He's about average, which is all you can expect is at least double digits for your tight end. Now, last guy I have, and this one's based off of injury if he does come back, but I have Dawson Knox as a good start coming back this week. Going against the Jets, Jets are allowing 64 yards, which is 25th in the NFL. They're also allowing 15 points, which is 22nd in the NFL. And Dawson Knox, before his injury, was a red zone threat. Now, with Dawson Knox coming back, that does affect Beasley, and I think it affects Sanders a lot. I think both of them took a big amount of advantage while Knox was out. Now, I don't think Knox is going to be just the best absolute start, but again, based off of his matchup, and if he is back healthy, he is somebody I do feel pretty comfortable with. He may ease himself in, but I do like him this week. Now, as far as some sits go, first guy I have is Tyler Higby. Look, the 49ers are a pretty stingy defense when it comes to the tight end position. They're only allowing 34 yards, which is 3rd in the NFL. They're also allowing 9.7 points, which is 8th in the NFL. So not only is it a tough matchup for Higby, they just added a new weapon. If you guys don't know, Odell Beckham is now part of the Rams. Now, we'll see if he plays Monday night. There's a good chance he does. So now you've got 4 solid wide receivers in Kupp, Woods, Jefferson, and now Odell. Really tough matchup, and I don't like Higby this week. Another guy I don't have as a good start is going to be Ricky Seals-Jones. Now, Logan Thomas is not back from IR. They're expecting a couple more weeks. The Bucs actually are a defense that does allow some points and yards to the tight end position, but I just think based on matchup and how this defense is going to perform, especially off of a bye, I don't like Seals-Jones this week. The Bucs are allowing 55 yards, which is 18th in the NFL, and they do allow 15.2 points, which is 23rd in the NFL. But if you ever watch any Brady-led type of team after the bye, they do a phenomenal job. And this is actually, this time last year is when the defense really stood out and did a phenomenal job for the Buccaneers and helped them win the Super Bowl. So it's a really tough one. Last guy I have is a good sit. It's going to be Hunter Henry. They're going against the Browns, who actually are a really good defense. The Browns are only allowing 40 yards to the tight end, which is 6th in the NFL. They're also allowing 11 points to the tight end, which is 12th in the NFL. So matchup-wise, it's a little bit tougher. I do think the Patriots will put up a fight. I do like Mac Jones. He does use Hunter Henry as a security blanket, especially in the red zone. But I just don't think this is a good matchup. I think the Browns can actually have a really good game. I think it'll be a dogfight, no pun intended, but I do think it's going to be a dogfight. I do think this is going to be a game that really kind of really proves if Baker can really continue on without Odell, and then obviously prove what Mac Jones can do. Now, as far as some good sleepers, first guy I have is Dalton Schultz. Schultz, obviously, they're going against the Falcons. They are allowing 52 yards to the tight end, which is 16th in the NFL. They're also allowing 13 points, which is 16th in the NFL as well. So I like Schultz, and the fact that I do believe this is going to be a good turnaround for the Cowboys. I think that team is a little upset with what happened against Denver Broncos, and Schultz is a great target for Dak. Now, if Gallup does come back, which they're expecting, that might affect a little bit. Gallup will go back into the role that Cedric Wilson has been playing. And I think Cedric Wilson has earned playing time, so they might do a little more four wides. Who knows how they use that, but I still like Dalton Schultz as a good sleeper. The last guy I have as a good sleeper is TJ Hawkins. And it's weird to say that TJ Hawkins is a sleeper, but I don't necessarily say he's a great start, but I don't think he deserves to be sat right now. That's why I think he is a good sleeper. They're going against the Steelers, who are allowing 56 yards to the tight end position, which is 19th in the NFL. They're also allowing 12 points, which is 14th in the NFL. The way Goff has been playing, it does make it a little bit tough with Hawkinson, but he's not quite a sit. This is why I do think he's a good sleeper. Not quite in my, hey, you got to start this guy, but I do like Hawkinson for Week 10. So those are my start and sit videos for the tight end position for the NFL of Week 10. Hopefully this stuff was informative and helpful. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you check out our QB, running back, and wide receiver start and sit videos. We've already dropped those for you this week. So if you're unsure who you should be starting for Sunday and Monday's games, please make sure you check those out, and make sure you check it out. If you haven't yet, make sure you do. Hit the like button. And if you're also not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. It's very helpful for us. And again, we just want to grow this community and help you guys win your fantasy leagues, all right? So make sure you check out the other videos, and I'll see you next time.